morning, everyone. Vanakkam. Vanakkam, Coimbatore. Yeah. I'm going to speak mostly Tamil and English, sort of mixed a little bit here and there. So I understand there are a few people who don't follow Tamil. So advance apologies wherever I go of English. I want to start off with a provocative slide, right? Typically when you talk about Tamil Nadu, sometimes we hear this narrative that Tamil Nadu ரொம்ப நாளாவே சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா தான் சார் இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னு. அப்படின்னா என்னன்னா, இப்பெல்லாம் எதுவும் பெருசா we didn't become the most advanced state in the country. ரொம்ப நாளைக்கு முன்னாடில இருந்தே நம்மலாம் பெரிய ஆளுங்க தான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. But actually it's very far away from truth. When India got independence, Tamil Nadu was at the bottom of the list in the states. It's number 2 from the bottom. And today, Tamil Nadu is number 2 from the top. So, if somebody says, நம்ம அப்பலே பெரிய ஆளுங்க தான் அப்படின்னா இந்த சார்ட்டை காட்டுங்க அவங்கள்ட்ட. ஏன்னா நம்ம அப்பெல்லாம் பெரிய ஆளுங்கலாம் இல்லை ஆக்சுவலா. We were actually the most poverty state at that time. So, and this chart basically tells you the transformation. இதுல என்ன ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம் அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, what is the number 1 state after independence? It's actually Bihar. Bihar was the number 1 state after independence, and we know Bihar is one of the most struggling states today. It's just a complete role reversal, right? Or state reversal. So if you really think why this is important, in fact, when I talk about Tamil Nadu after independence, it was even not the current Tamil Nadu, it was the original Madras presidency, which is much larger Tamil Nadu. Even the much larger Tamil Nadu was actually poorer than Bihar. So that's actually even more striking. After that, Madras presidency split, right? So what happened? Because within the constitution of India என்ற ஒரு கட்டமைப்புக்குள்ளே எல்லா ஸ்டேட்ஸும் அதே ரூல்ஸ், அதே ரெகுலேஷன்ஸ் எல்லாமே அதே தான் கிட்டத்தட்ட. ஸோ வித்தின் த சேம் ஃப்ரேம் ஒர்க், ஹவு டிட் ஒன் ஸ்டேட் பிரேக் அவே ஃப்ரம் த ரெஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த ஸ்டேட்ஸ் அண்ட் பிகம் லைக் number 1? Although GDP wise we are number 2, in a holistic way, if you compute GDP, I would think we will actually be number 1. We would even beat Maharashtra, simply because Maharashtra has a little bit unfair advantage in just 2 data points. First, it has all the industries headquarters are located in Bombay, and they put all their consolidated balance sheets and file income tax sitting in Bombay, and those things don't get counted in the respective states. So you have to reapportion all those filings back to the states, including Tamil Nadu. I'm not saying it will all come to Tamil Nadu. It will have to go to every other state. The second, all the stock market stocks are traded in Bombay Stock Exchange pretty much, right? And even all the industries whose stocks are getting traded, it's getting traded in BSC and NSC. So if you reapportion all this wealth back to the respective states and recompute GDP, you will actually see Tamil Nadu doing even better than Maharashtra. This is my hypothesis. I am not sure it will happen, but I truly believe intuitively, if you account it correctly, we will even be number 1 state. So the larger point I'm trying to say is, what made this breakaway transition, and what is the lesson here, and how can we apply this to business as well? So the first thing you have to understand is the economic transformation first started from natural resource based economy. Natural resource based economy என்னன்னா, இயற்கையாவே நமக்கு என்ன வளங்கள் இருக்கோ அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி அதை நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணி அதை பணமா மாத்துறது. கோல்டு, அலுமினியம், டைமண்ட், water is a natural resource, right? Today we pay for every bottle, we pay 20 rupees. At some point in time we are going to pay for the air. So, and climate, sea, oil and gas, idellame. அடுத்தது வந்து, when the human civilization improves from natural resources, we try to harness these natural resources by controlling. As human beings, we start controlling that. The first step of that is actually agriculture. Agriculture is really humans' way of transforming natural resources. But the reason I'm saying it's natural resources na, agriculture main input ellame natural resources da. Mannu, air, water, everything is natural, climate, everything is natural resource pretty much. Adala illana nammalaala agriculture panna mudiyadhu. So agriculture is some sort of a natural resource based economy. And then the third transformation that happens is industrial economy. When you go to the industrial economy, what really happens is that humans start producing something in a factory using machines and labor. And again this has some natural resources as inputs, but then that inputs become minimal, but the machines and the labor becomes significant contribution. And then the fourth transformation is knowledge economy. And when you come to knowledge economy, what happens is the natural resources or raw materials becomes completely eliminated. Because if you work in a software company, there is no raw material, there is no machinery, there is just human beings and a bunch of computers, and that's about it. So they produce things that are much more valuable than a car company or a manufacturing company, unfortunately, right? Because the value transition is happening in a very different paradigm or a very different dimension. Now, why all this matters is Tamil Nadu's GDP going from bottom 2 to the top 2 happened because Tamil Nadu made one very, very important strategic shift. That shift is, we don't have natural resources or the agricultural resources. We always fight for water. I'm glad you guys are all living in Coimbatore and tasting the second most sweetest water in the world. I didn't know that, by the way. So I know Sirvani water is good, but I didn't know it's second most. I have to fact check that now. So somebody should fact check that. So what we did was, at some point in time, நம்ம என்ன டிசைட் பண்ணோம்னா, நம்மள்ட்ட வந்து நேச்சுரல் ரிசோர்ஸ் இல்லை, நம்மள்ட்ட அக்ரிகல்ச்சரும் சரியா பண்ண முடியாது, பிகாஸ் யூ ஒன்லி ஹேவ் லைக் தஞ்சாவூர் அந்த மாதிரி சில பெல்ட்ல வி ஹேவ் குட் அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர். அதை விட்டுட்டீங்கன்னா we don't have so much predictable agriculture means. So we jump started our whole state into industrial economy, and we actually shifted one more fast gear into knowledge economy. And this is a big transformation. So, and the transformation enna core na, we redefined what is capital. What is capital? We defined what is capital. In the old economy, capital is something else. In the new economy, people are the capital. You just change the definition, change your understanding of what is capital. Once you decide people are the capital, the whole perspective changes radically. So this is all not hearsay or not some stories I'm building. There are real data. Before around 1960s, if you look at the human capital index of Tamil Nadu, only 20% were educated, overall education, and 80% were not so educated prior to 1960s. You fast forward to 2024, the pyramid swaps, right? It's 80% educated and 20% not so educated. And the most important transformation is not here, in the next slide. What I call this is an exponential transformation. This is exactly where Tamil Nadu outbeat everybody else. Enna women education. Problem enna we don't understand how important women upliftment is. நிறைய டைம் பேசுறோம், ஆனா நம்ம சரியா பண்றது இல்ல. தமிழ்நாடு மாத்திரம் தான், இந்தியா ஸ்டேட்ல எல்லா ஸ்டேட்டும் கம்பேர் பண்ணீங்கன்னா தமிழ்நாடு மாத்திரம் தான் ஒழுங்கா பண்ணிருக்காங்க, வேற எந்த ஸ்டேட்டுமே சரியா பண்ணல. And that is very, very important. Just 8% of women were educated in Tamil Nadu before 1960s. And just fast forward, 74% of women were educated. And no other state has this kind of transformation. ஏன் அது அவ்வளோ இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, ஒரு பாப்புலேஷன்ல 50% பேர் உமன் இருக்காங்க. எந்த பாப்புலேஷன் எடுத்தீங்கனாலும் 50% ஆர் விமன். So 50% ஆஃப் விமன் நீங்க அன்லீஷ் பண்ணலன்னா, how do they make economic contribution to the state? So economic contribution comes from educating women and making them contribute to the economy. So அந்த 50% எல்லாரையும் நீங்க வீட்டிலே வச்சிட்டு இருந்தீங்கன்னா, அப்ப அந்த what is called GDP is nothing but productivity, right? Gross domestic product. They have to produce something. If these women are sitting at home and not producing anything, that much more potential is not contributing back to the economy. It's as simple as that. It's just common sense if you think about it, right? So this transformation completely unlocked human potential, and this is where the political system of Tamil Nadu was fantastic, starting from Periyar to Anna to Kamaraj to Kalaignar to even MGR, Jayalalitha. Everybody made sure that human capital is unleashed and women upliftment has happened. That is very, very important. Tamil Nadu was the first state to give voting right for women. Tamil Nadu was the first state to give property right for women. Tamil Nadu was the first state to set up all women police station. You can keep on counting. Any law that is enacted in India that is supports favoring women, that will be first enacted in Tamil Nadu, and every other state will follow that. That's been the history of how the political system of Tamil Nadu was there. So, the second important thing that we need to understand is why education is not attainable. Human beings fight for basic needs. Education is not a basic need. Okay. Food, clothing, shelter is a basic need. இதை கிராஸ் பண்ணாதான் எஜுகேஷன் பக்கமே போக முடியும். இதை கிராஸ் பண்ணலன்னா people cannot go to school. அதனால தான் நாம இப்ப சில சமயத்துல வாட்ஸ்அப்ல உட்காந்துட்டு ஃப்ரீ பீஸ் எல்லாருக்கும் இலவசமா கொடுக்குறாங்க நம்ம கமெண்ட் போட்டுட்டு இருக்கோம். அதனோட இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் என்னன்னு நமக்கு தெரியறது இல்ல. அந்த ஃப்ரீ பீஸ் அவங்களுக்கு கொடுக்கலன்னா they won't get out of this food, clothing, shelter problem. Unless the common man gets out of the food, shelter, clothing problem, they are not going to get educated. If they are not going to get educated, the unleashing of human potential is not going to happen. Of course, the freebies kudukradhula vandu, I would call this as social programs, social upliftment programs. Adu kudukradhula nariya leakage irukkalam, nariya frauds nadakalam, nariya scams irukkalam. But that does not mean we can criticize this. We have to fix the problems. We have to reduce the scams. We have to reduce the leakages. We cannot throw the baby with the bathtub. So sometimes இவ்வளோ பேர் இதை அடிச்சிடுறாங்க, காசு அடிச்சிடுறாங்க சொல்லிட்டு நம்ம we go back and criticize the program itself without understanding how important these programs are, right? So in the programs sort of master strokes actually created Tamil Nadu's this transformation. And the first master stroke is in school education. In 1950s, we had only 6,000 schools in Tamil Nadu. Okay. In 1960s, in just 10 years, we have 27,000 schools. 27,000 schools. Just imagine the transformation. It's just massive transformation, right? So there are only 40% of the school kids were just going to school. I'm not saying fully educated, just going to school. But that number jumped to 77%, close to double in just one 10-year period. Just in one 10-year period. And that, of course, Kamaraj was very, very instrumental in getting this done, right? So a lot of credit to him. And the continuation of that master stroke, what I call is the higher, the first one is a school education, the second one is higher education, but still education. Before 1960s, see if you really look at it, roughly a generation is like 20-25 years, right? One generation, when they get graduated, the next generation needs colleges. We had less than 40 engineering colleges before 1980s. And somebody told me that's even 12 or 13. I have to go back and check that. It's even lower. That's what I was told. But in another 20 years, another big transformation. We have 550 engineering colleges. And Coimbatore is one of those, or rather the Kongu belt in general is one of those hardcore educational clusters in Tamil Nadu. Not just in Tamil Nadu, in India. Sometimes Tamil Nadu is even shown as the South Asia's educational hub. Because the amount of educational infrastructure that we have developed in the last, the 1980s to 2000 is phenomenal, right? Now what did it happen? Another point. A lot of time people say, sir, college la irukku sir, ana quality illa. But if you take the NIRF ranking, it is 2024, the latest one. Top 37 colleges out of the 100 is in Tamil Nadu. 37 colleges out of the 100 colleges is in Tamil Nadu. The next one is in Delhi. And Delhi because it's national capital. So you cannot give credit to Delhi, right? So, and the next one is even Kerala. That's a small state. So Delhi is a national capital. Kerala is a small state. The second master stroke is actually protecting the language. அதனோட இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் நமக்கு ஜெனரலா தெரியறது இல்ல. நாம வந்து இருமொழி கொள்கை அடாப்ட் பண்ணலனா என்ன ஆயிருக்கும்னா தமிழ் அழிஞ்சிருக்காது. ஆக்சுவலா நான் நினைக்கிற மாதிரி தமிழுக்கு பதிலா நம்ம ஹிந்தி பேசியிருக்கோம், இங்கிலீஷ் அழிஞ்சிருக்கும். Actually that is what would have happened, and that's what is happening today. Our brothers and sisters in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, they are not able to fluently talk in English. They are not able to get competitive with the global scale, and that is why they are coming to Tamil Nadu to work as laborers. Just think about it. நாமளுக்கு அதே நிலைமை நமக்கு வந்திருக்கும். If you have not done this really well, நாம வந்து இங்கிலீஷ் பதிலா ஹிந்தி படிச்சிருப்போம். ஹிந்தி படிச்சா நம்ம திருப்பி லேபரா இருந்திருப்போம். நாம அங்க போய் ஒர்க் பண்ணிருப்போம். Actually we wouldn't have achieved the transformation, right? And we don't appreciate that, and we think it's just politics. It's not politics. It's much beyond politics. It's livelihood, our future, and everything is based on this. A social inclusion na எங்க வரணும்னா பிசினஸ்ல சோஷியல் இன்க்ளூஷன் வேணும், சொசைட்டில சோஷியல் இன்க்ளூஷன் வேணும், ஜாப்ஸ்ல சோஷியல் இன்க்ளூஷன் வேணும், எஜுகேஷன்ல சோஷியல் இன்க்ளூஷன் வேணும். I'll just give you one small anecdotal example. When I came up with the $1 trillion economy for Tamil Nadu, this is in 2018 when we first talked about it. After that, when 2021 the new government came in, it became an official mission. So the $1 trillion vision was much earlier than 2021. It was 2018. So that is when we started Dream Tamil Nadu and proposed that vision as a policy for the government. An IAS officer from Gujarat came to meet me. And he said, sir, நாங்களும் வந்து இந்த $1 trillion குஜராத்ல பண்ண போறோம், என்ன பண்ணலாம் அப்படினா பேசிட்டு இருந்தோம். It was a good conversation. அப்புறம் ஃபைனலா போகும்போது அவர்கிட்ட பேசிட்டு இருந்தேன், சார் இப்போ நான் ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணோம்னா if I don't have a high cost, ஒரு ஹை உயர் ஜாதி தமிழ்நாடு தவிர வேற எந்த மாநிலத்திலுமே செகண்ட் நேம், அதாவது லாஸ்ட் நேம் கேஸ்ட் நேமா இருக்கு. தமிழ்நாட்டில் மாத்திரம்தான் நேம்ல கேஸ்ட காலி பண்ணிட்டு போனோம். வேற எந்த ஸ்டேட்லயுமே நடக்கல. நீங்க கேரளால போனீங்கன்னா கூட ஒரு மேனன் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா தெரிஞ்சிடும், யூ நோ வாட் இட் இஸ். ஒரு நாயர்னா உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிடும், ஒரு நம்பூதிரினா யூ நோ ஹூ தட் இஸ். ஸோ ஈவன் ஒரு வீடு வாங்க போறீங்கன்னா கூட உங்க பேரை பார்த்தாலே உங்களுக்கு அந்த வீடு கொடுக்கலாமா கொடுக்க வேணாமான்னு டிசைட் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. இன்னைக்கு நாம அது பண்றோம். ஏன்னா சில சமயத்துல வந்து கிறிஸ்டியன்ஸோ முஸ்லிம்ஸோ அவங்க பேரை பார்த்தாலே அவங்க கிறிஸ்டியனா முஸ்லீமான்னு தெரிஞ்சிருது நமக்கு. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு கொடுக்கலாமா கொடுக்க வேணாமா நம்ம டிசைட் பண்றோம். ஸோ நேம்லேயே வந்து நம்ம ஐடென்டிட்டி கிளியரா தெரியுது. நார்த் இந்தியாவில் தமிழ்நாடை தாண்டி வேற எங்க போனாலும் சரி, ஈவன் ஆந்திரால போனா கூட ரெட்டி இருக்காங்க, நாயுடுஸ் இருக்காங்க, நீங்க கர்நாடகால போனீங்கன்னா கவுடாஸ் இருக்காங்க. லைக் எல்லா ஸ்டேட்லயுமே கேஸ்ட் இஸ் தேர். கேஸ்ட ஒழிச்சதுல தமிழ்நாடு இஸ் தி நம்பர் 1 ஸ்டேட் இந்த நேம் அட்லீஸ்ட். அதனால தமிழ்நாட்டுல கேஸ்ட் போயிடுச்சுன்னு சொல்ல நான், இட் இஸ் ஸ்டில் தேர். பட் அட்லீஸ்ட் ரைட் நவ ஐ அம் டாக்கிங் டு a person, I can't judge the person by caste because I don't know what is his caste. And that is one of the reasons why Tamil Nadu politics is very difficult for all what you call national parties, because they just can't divide and rule us because we don't know what the caste is. It's a very difficult process. So அவர்கிட்ட கேட்டேன், சார் என்னோட லாஸ்ட் நேம்ல வந்து ஒரு ஹை காஸ்ட் நேம் இல்லைன்னா நான் போயிட்டு ஒரு பிசினஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றதுக்கு ரெண்ட்டுக்கு ஒரு ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி வேணா கிடைக்குமா அப்படின்னு கேட்டேன். ஒரு 2 minutes யோசிச்சு பார்த்துட்டு கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டம் தான் சார் அப்படின்னாரு. சார் நீங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் போயிட்டு do that revolution. Without doing social revolution, there is no way you can do economic revolution. That social revolution is the fundamental foundation for us to build the economic revolution. Otherwise, what will happen? We will run up in crony capitalism, which is the topmost people will become more richer and richer and richer. The middle and the bottom of the people will never have a way to get there. So the first step of doing economic transformation is to do social transformation. So, and இந்த சோஷியல் ஜஸ்டிஸ் சரியா இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ண ஒரே ஸ்டேட் வந்து தமிழ்நாடு மாத்திரம்தான். ஆனா என்ன ப்ராப்ளம்னா இந்த சோஷியல் ஜஸ்டிஸ் நம்ம தப்பா புரிஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கோம். We confuse equality with equity. Equality is எல்லாரும் ஈக்குவலா தானே சார் ட்ரீட் பண்ணோம். அந்த ஈக்குவலா ட்ரீட் பண்றது இந்த மாதிரி. But equity is different. Social justice tries to achieve equity but not equality. இப்போ எப்படின்னா ஒரு 100 மீட்டர் ரேஸ் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். ஒரு பையனுக்கு ஒரு கால் இருக்கு, இன்னொரு பையனுக்கு 2 காலும் இருக்கு. அந்த பையனையும் அந்த 100 மீட்டர் ரேஸ்ல ஓட விட்டு அந்த கடைசியில் வந்திருக்கிற பையன் வந்து கடைசியில் வந்துட்டான் தோத்துட்டான் அப்படின்னு சொன்னா எப்படி இருக்கும்? It just doesn't make sense. So it's not a fair competition at all. So they have to give the fair competition, right? That is what is equity is trying to achieve. And the fourth master stroke is the industrial transformation. In the 1970s la irundhu 2000 kullare four major industrial transformation nadakudhu. Setting up of TIDCO, setting up of ZITCO, setting up of SIPCOT, and then IT policy. Again IT policy first India avle Tamil Nadu does the first IT policy, and after that we start Tidal Park in Tamil Nadu. At that time Tidal Park is known as the Asia's largest IT park. People before recognizing, but enna prana adutaduthu varakodiya governments vandu adu eduthu run panna mudiyala. It's just coincidental this all happened in Kalaignar period. Just I don't know how. I just looked at the data, that's how it comes out. Okay. And what is the summary of this? The summary of this is Tamil Nadu is standing out because it's prioritizing economic growth and social growth together. Because if you look at Gujarat or Maharashtra, they only care about the economic growth. They don't just give a damn to social growth. On the other hand, very communist party or socialist parties like they with ruled states like West Bengal and Kerala, they prioritized always about social growth. They don't care about business, and that doesn't help. And Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, they are now reviving, but they cared about nothing, neither social growth nor the economic growth. But Tamil Nadu actually balanced both social growth and economic growth. And it's not like we are perfect. I'm not saying like we have 100 out of 100. We are still probably 60 out of 100. We still have like another 40 points to grow. But when compared to a relative scale, we did lot better. That's all my point is. Okay. So given this background, what should be our grand vision? So we should go after the fifth master stroke. It's time for Tamil Nadu to leapfrog from here and go to the fifth master stroke. And the fifth master stroke is actually building $1 trillion economy. So when I first proposed this in 2018, it was a laughing matter, because at that time India was doing 2.5 trillion. As a country, India was at 2.5 trillion. And people are saying, India ve 5 trillion pandradhu kashtam. Idhula Tamil Nadu matra enga inda 1 trillion panna povudhu appdi solli people were just joking. But then Tamil Nadu was growing at around 10 to 12% CAGR, compounded aggregated growth rate. Okay. But if you do like 14 to 15% CAGR, we will hit the 2030 milestone of 1 trillion. But right now we are a little bit lagging behind. Maybe not 2030, we'll probably do it in 2033 time frame. Okay. But we are very much on target towards getting there. So that growth is going to happen. But how do we get that growth? There are 4 pillars to do that. First, we have to attract big industries. Of course, only government can do that. Second, we need to transform MSMEs, and that's one of the reasons I came to this session. Third, we have to build a lot of brands. Okay, I specifically, let me spend 1 minute here. When I say a lot of brands, I can give you some examples so you can understand what I mean by this. Like Coimbatore, Tirupur, we do a lot of textile industries. Like if you take underwear industry, like we have Jockey and Hanes. These 2 companies, their total revenue is 50,000 crores. And some of them outsource their work to India, and we make this in Hosur and Coimbatore area. And they sell it. We probably get 20 rupees per piece, but they sell it at 300 rupees because they own the brand. And we are just a service provider. When we own the brand, we tend to capture all the value that is coming from our efforts. But we just a service provider, you get paid for your labor. And that transformation is very important. So we can't just be a service provider. We have to be a brand owner. And startups are one of the easiest way to become the brand owners, right? Because they tend to disrupt existing incumbents. And then we have to transform IT from a $20 billion, we are at a $20 billion contribution to $100 billion. So if you do all these 4 things really well, we will get to the $1 trillion economy. Okay. So I talked about natural resource economy, agriculture economy, industrial economy, knowledge economy, and then the fifth economy is the entrepreneurial economy. We need to be very, very entrepreneurial driven, especially with the advent of AI. There is going to be what is called as a lot of OPCs. What is OPC? Anybody knows what is OPC? 1% companies. AI is going to create a lot of 1% companies. And this 1% can make $10 million. $10 million is like 85 crores in today's date. Right? As the dollar is depreciating or appreciating in India's depreciation, maybe it will become 90 crores soon. So, that kind of opportunities are massive. But we are not unleashing our knowledge students who are educated in the knowledge industry towards this journey. நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம்னா எல்லாரையும் வந்து ஒரு கேம்பஸ் ரெக்ரூட்மெண்ட்ல போட்டு ஒரு ஐடி கம்பெனில போய் வேலை பண்றதுக்கு தயார்படுத்திட்டு இருக்கோம். ஆக்சுவலா we are still creating them as another form of like sort of intellectual laborers மாதிரி கிரியேட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். So we need to get away from that. So we published this brand. This map called the Making Tamil Nadu Proud brand, and these are some of the big brands in Tamil Nadu listed there, starting from Arun Ice Cream to all the way to Zoho. I think you also see LG there. So we like all these brands which are contributing to Tamil Nadu. We did some statistical analysis and found out roughly 25% of Tamil Nadu GDP just comes from 150 brands. This very staggering number. These 150 brands make a huge impact. So our idea was, how do we make this state from 150 brands to 500 brands? If we can make that, it's 3 times the shift. That means from a $250 billion GDP, we can get $2 trillion very easily. It's as simple as that, right? So we started programs to nurture that, and one of the first programs we created is the Idea Pattarai Founder Community for startups. We have mentored around 1,000 founders. Even yesterday I was in Coimbatore. I know I'm coming here, so I just took one day extra and met with like 25-30 founders in a close group. And we do like very small group sessions. We don't do these big events at all because it's very ineffective to do these big events. You can only do lecture. I can't have a conversation. So I just do less than 25-30 people events because the intensity is important. So we have done like 45 workshops, and we have mentoring 90 companies out of this 1,000. And then we created a venture firm, because a lot of times what happens is these companies are ready but nobody is willing to invest money in it. So we wanted to solve that problem, so we created a venture firm called Mudal VC, essentially to put money into companies which can build global brands from Tamil Nadu. And we've invested in 15 companies from those communities. So we use Idea Pattarai community to nurture entrepreneurship, help founders, and if we find a good company, we use Mudal VC and invest in those companies. And then the next thing that I am trying to do is I wrote a series called Kanavu appdin solittu Vigadan Patrikaila. The longest running business article in 100 years of Vigadan history is this article called Kanavu. 150 edition எழுதிருக்கேன். ஒரு எடிஷனும் வந்து 4 பேஜ். ஸோ அப்படின்னா 4 × 150 600 பக்கம் எழுதியிருக்கேன் இது வரைக்கும். ஸோ அதுலேருந்து I'll give you some samples. The idea about this Kanavu is, ஒவ்வொரு டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்லையும் நிறைய ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் இருக்கு. அந்த டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் தாண்டி நீங்கள் சென்னைக்கோ கோயம்புத்தூருக்கோ போக தேவையில்லை. உங்கள் டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்லேயே you can build a brand and become a global company, and that opportunity is right under your nose, but you are searching elsewhere. And we wanted to demystify that there is no big opportunity in my district. அப்படிங்கிற அந்த இதை demystify பண்ணணுன்றதுக்காக ஆரம்பிச்சது. And I've come out really well. We are planning to publish a book out of it, but I'll give you a glimpse of what's coming. So why this is important? Because this targeted towards building MSMEs also. 50 lakh MSMEs in Tamil Nadu, including micro. 12% of MSMEs of entire country is present in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu per capita is 3,500, which is the largest in the country, only because of MSMEs. And they basically do 30 to 40% of industrial output, and 1.5 crore people are employed in MSMEs, and they are the poverty eradication mechanism. ஏன்னா இந்த பெரிய கம்பெனிஸ்ல ஏர்ன் பண்ற மணி எல்லாம் காமன் மேன் கொண்டு போகக்கூடிய சேனலே MSMEs தான். MSMEs இல்லைன்னா the poverty gap will continue to the rich and the poor divide will become much higher. MSMEs are the ones that actually bridge that rich and poor divide, and then they actually increase the human development index. So MSMEs are such a critical. This is another master stroke from Tamil Nadu. So I think I'm going to take another 5-10 minutes, guys. I know my time is up, but hopefully this will be useful. So I just want to start with Kanyakumari district. Anga pathina there is a lot of rubber, but there is no big factory to make mattresses out of it. We're just exporting raw rubber. Just give you just one liner. And black pepper, we can make shampoo out of it. Sorry, there is a little bit of typo. Again, there is clove that is being produced. Nariya krambu valarudhu, we can make a face cream out of it. This is a boathouse. There is no big industry in Kanyakumari. There is something in Kerala, but not so much in Kanyakumari is happening. Again, there is some recommendation for the government. Thoothukudi எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா black pearl, நமக்கு white pearl தெரியும், black pearl farming பண்ணலாம். அதே மாதிரி macaroon, this is one of the problems. தூத்துக்குடியில வந்து macaroon ரொம்ப ஃபேமஸ். ஆனா என்னன்னா நம்ம ஒரு மொக்கையா ஒரு பிளாஸ்டிக் பையில போட்டு அது 25 ரூபாய் போட்டு ஒரு லேபிள் பேப்பர் லேபிள ஒட்டி கொடுத்து அது சாப்பிட்றதுக்கே it doesn't, we don't know how to brand it. If you look at Ferrero Rocher, if you look at the Ferrero Rocher chocolate, right, they know how to brand it, and everybody gifts Ferrero Rocher when they go meet people, right? Why can't we make macarons like that? I don't understand, right? So again, anga nariya vandu fish wastage varudhu, but we can make fish based biofertilizer. And coriander, there is a tablet that we can make from coriander because a lot of herbal and medicinal values. Tirunelveli eduthittingana, Tirunelveliyila vandu there is a lot of renewable energy through windmills, and we can set up a green data center in Tirunelveli. And of course, this is a recommendation for the government. This is not, I don't know whether individuals, private parties can do this. A lot of people do not know. Tirunelveliyila da vandu நம்ம வாங்குற குக்கர் எல்லாம் அங்க தான் தயாரிக்கறாங்க. பட் ஆனா அந்த குக்கர்லாம் பழைய மாதிரி இருக்கு இன்னும். We can transform that into a smart cookware industry, right? Virudhunagar, I'm just picking one or two ideas. So we have recommended like 12 ideas for each district. So roughly we have 38 districts. So 40 times 12, like around we have 500 to 600 ideas. So Virudhunagarla vandu there is chicory. Chicory la irundhu you can basically extract inulin. It's a very expensive product. அதே மாதிரி வந்து okay, sorry, this is cotton. We can make these tea bags. Virudhunagar also has a very high ginger production. The ginger la irundhu pathina கால்ல வந்து வீக்கத்தை குறைக்கிறதுக்கு ginger foot pad அப்படினு சொல்லிட்டு we can make one. அதே மாதிரி வந்து அங்க நெல்லிக்காய் நிறைய வளருது. நெல்லிக்காயில இருந்து we can make digestive candies. Sunflower seed வந்து நம்ம எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணி ஆயில் எடுத்துடுறோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த புண்ணாக்கு வருது இல்லைங்களா, அந்த புண்ணாக்கு வந்து கேன் ஆக்சுவலி பிகம் ஆஸ் அ ஃபிஷ் ஃபீட் ஆக்சுவலி. அதே மாதிரி ராமநாதபுரம், கோஇன்சிடென்ட்லி ஐ டுக் அப் ராமநாதபுரம் வெரி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பிகாஸ் தமிழ்நாட்டில் வந்து ரொம்ப பின்தங்கிய மாவட்டம்னா ராமநாதபுரம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. பட் ஆக்சுவலி வி ஃபவுண்ட் அவுட் தெர் இஸ் so much opportunities in ராமநாதபுரம் than what we can imagine. For example, they have a very spicy chili product. We can make chili sauce out of it, which we buy foreign products for chili sauce right now. And then அங்க வந்து நிறைய நொங்கு இருக்கு. நாம வந்து லிச்சி ஜூஸ் குடிக்கிறோம், நொங்கு ஜூஸ் நம்ம இல்ல. பட் நம்ம ஹாப்பியா லிச்சி ஜூஸ் வாங்கி குடிச்சிட்டு இருக்கோம், right? But from a health benefits and nutritional value standpoint, nongu has more nutritional value than lychee, but we don't know that, right? Again, palm juice. This is a dying drink. Like it's been a while since I drank this drink. And the பழம் வந்து நல்ல ஒரு ஆரஞ்சு கலர்ல இருக்கும், கிட்டத்தட்ட மாம்பழம் மாதிரி. அது நீங்க பிழிஞ்சிங்கனாலே நிறைய ஜூஸ் வரும். But I don't think we have been able to do it. Again, this is another classic example how to make chocolates. Like அங்க நிறைய அந்த பனம் வெல்லம் இருக்கு, அதுல வந்து நிறைய டார்க் எலிமெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு. But we don't know how to make a chocolate like this. we wanted to show an example of a brand and a chocolate that we will make, which will be like international standard, which people will buy to gift to people, right? So அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு வேர்ல்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிறது. அதே மாதிரி பாம்ல இருந்து we can make wine and we can export it, because தமிழ்நாட்டில் சாராயம் ஆல்கஹால் அப்படின்னாலே ஒரு சென்சிட்டிவான சப்ஜெக்ட். You can probably export it. You don't have to sell it in Tamil Nadu. Again, in Tenkasi, there is avarambu. அதிலிருந்து foot ulcer ointment can be made. Again, we can make a brand out of avarambu because it's very good skincare products. Everything for baby food, baby care industry can be made. Again, Tenkasi, there is a lot of lime, hydrated lime we can make out of this. It's an industry. Rice brand lerundu wax edukka mudiyum, rice brand wax. Tenkasi again they grow a lot of enna solradhu lemon, adilendhu citric acid factory one create pannalam. Adilendhu vara waste irukku illaya, adilendhu in the fragrance bead. So we try to reuse everything that can come out of the system so that we don't throw away waste. Sivagangaila we can again do chili jam, chili oil, energizer drink, Valak spinach capsules, mango electrolyte, Madurai. So from Madurai to Virudhunagar, US la pathina there is a Boston Route 128 nu road irukku. And the road la poningina it will have one full industrial corridor. We can set up something like that between Thoothukudi and Madurai. It goes via Virudhunagar and Andipatti. On the road fullave we can set up an industrial corridor. Very similar to inspired from Boston Route 28. Again this one. And this is a very interesting one. கிருஷ்ணகிரியில் நம்ம சேலத்து மாம்பழம்னு சொல்கிற மல்கோவா மாம்பழம் ஆக்சுவலாக இப்போ சேலத்தில் கிடையாது, ஆக்சுவலாக கிருஷ்ணகிரியில் தான் இருக்குது. பழசில் கிருஷ்ணகிரி வாஸ் பார்ட் ஆஃப் த சேலம் டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்னால நம்ம ஆல்வேஸ் வி திங்க் இட்ஸ் அ சேலம் மாம்பழம், பட் இட்ஸ் ஆக்சுவலி பிரசன்ட் இன் கிருஷ்ணகிரி. கிருஷ்ணகிரியில் நிறைய மேங்கோ பல்ப் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி இருக்குது. அந்த மேங்கோ பல்ப் எடுத்ததுக்கப்புறம் அந்த தோலை தே மோஸ்ட்லி டிஸ்கார்ட். அந்த தோல்லேருந்து வி கேன் மேக் வாட் இஸ் கால்ட் அஸ் வீகன் லெதர். The vegan leather is valued 10 times more than the normal leather, and it is very bio friendly. So அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பெரிய opportunity இருக்கு. Again, Tirunelveliல we can set up a lot of windmills. We don't have a Tirunelveli windmill spare parts infrastructure. Again, we can set this up. நிறைய biological waste, we can do bio briquettes out of this. Groundnut oda shell 6 to 7% hydrogen irukku. We can do a process called pyrolysis and extract hydrogen out of it, and that can be used for feeding, producing electricity. Idhe madri you can make from coconut shell, you can make an activated carbon water filter. Paddy waste la you can make straw board, which can use for interior design. Ragi waste la you can make geotextiles, and there is a huge demand, unfulfilled demand, because government of India has put a rule that 20% of road infrastructure has to use geotextiles for some of these road work. So people are not able to supply. Again, Kadalur is my district. There is Mundri Panamalla waste pogum. Govala poningna fenin or liquor irukku. We can actually make high quality liquor out of that, and we can export it like to international countries. So I think if you do all these things that we talked about, we can actually go from a originally $260 billion to a $1 trillion economy. Aduk in the 4 pillars are very much important, and I hope I made an impact in all your minds towards embarking on that vision. And if some of you want to get in touch with me, you can scan this QR code, and I'll be happy to chat up with you guys. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. I don't know whether there is time for questions, but thank you. I hope you guys liked it.
Thank you so much. Actually, time is over, but if at all the audience has quick 1 or 2 questions maximum, maybe we can support that. Any questions from the audience? Yes. There's a lady with a question.
Hi sir, good morning. My name is Shruti.
Hi.
I think this was a lovely presentation to start off Jubilant in Coimbatore. The question I have is the opportunities that you spoke about throughout districts. I'm sure a lot of people in those districts who are in the raw material industries know that that can be scaled up. What is stopping them, and why isn't it coming out from the districts?
Yeah, you'll be surprised that they actually don't know. That's the first problem. And lots of times we just look outward for opportunities, but sometimes opportunities are near us. We just don't know. We have short sight problem. So we just look at everybody else and say, opportunities. People will. So it's the first problem. And yes, the second problem is sometimes people know it and they are not able to do it. The thing that stops from them doing that, mostly people think it's money. They don't get investments or they don't take funding, but that's not the case. It is actually the opposite. Today, there is so much money that is available for investment through venture capital. Whether it is angel investing networks or VCs or private equity, multi-billion dollars are available. But they are finding it hard to bet on founders who are knowledgeable and who have the domain knowledge and the passion and the commitment to run for like 10 years. Because entrepreneurial journey typically takes 10 to 15 years to succeed. So people, like I started in 2004, now it's 2024. If you take Zoho, they started even before me. It's 30 years or something. So it takes like 20 years, 30 years, like all the big companies in Coimbatore. If you trace back their history, they'll be like 50-year-old companies. So it's a very long, this is phenomena called delayed gratification. Entrepreneurship is about delayed gratification. Is opposite to kaila kaasu vaayila dosai. நம்ம எல்லாரும் என்ன கையில காசு வாயில தோசை மாதிரி வேணும் நமக்கு. இப்போ ஒன்று பண்ண உடனே காசு கிடைச்சிடணும் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறோம். But entrepreneurship is you invest in it and you grow it, and it will take 3 to 5 years to start seeing results, and after that it will scale. But we don't have the ability to sustain that long. And the entrepreneurs, we don't find entrepreneurs who have that clarity and commitment, and that is why there is not money going to them. There is enough money, but there is less entrepreneurs with clarity and commitment. So that is the real problem.